Good morning, and welcome to the Bowling University studio from the International Bowling Campus in Arlington, Texas. I'm John Karabatsis, and I'll be your host for this edition of the Bowling University Tuesday Morning Profit Break. Thank you for joining us. The Tuesday Morning Profit Break is an opportunity for sharing insights on how to grow your revenue, reduce costs, and enrich yourself, your team, and your business. Welcome to our new viewers, and welcome back to those of you joining us again. Thank you for taking a few minutes out of your busy day. We have another great show ready to share with you today. So grab your cup of coffee or your favorite morning beverage, and let's get started improving your profitability. Today, we're joined by Bart Berger. As most of you know, before joining the BPAA, Bart was the Vice President of Marketing for the Brunswick Bowling and Billiards chain and is well versed in today's topic, Foundations for Digital Marketing Success. This morning, Bart will be discussing the importance of email marketing. Bart, welcome.
Hey, JK, good morning. Thank you so much. And hey, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Before we get started with today's episode, I just want to make mention of something because a few of you have been asking about it, and that is show topics. If you have any suggestions on topics to help you during this Tuesday morning profit break, make sure if you're watching this morning on Facebook or YouTube, send us a note there, or you can reach us anytime at education@bpa.com. But this morning, I'm going to spend a few minutes talking about something I'm very passionate about, and that is email marketing. So if you are new to this topic, going to give you some quick hits on how to get started. And I know for some of you, maybe email seems a little passé and maybe you've gotten away from it, but I'm going to encourage you to give it another try, and hopefully we'll share some data that will speak to the why there. So let's get started. Just as a review, as our digital marketing, I always like to start out with this because I don't want you to be intimidated by technology, okay? This is marketing that all of us can be a part of as small business operators. So just as a review, digital marketing is nothing more than content delivered through channels such as search engines, websites, social media, email, SMS. And when we talk about SMS, we're talking about text message marketing. So I love this space and I love digital marketing. I'm so passionate about it for all of you because digital marketing, the digital technology, now allows all of us to be active in this space at a very cost-effective, in fact, some of them are low-cost strategies and techniques and channels, but it really levels the playing field. And I use the example of mass media. Unless you're part of an organization that has hundreds or even thousands of units, whatever those units are, most of us don't have the budgets for radio, TV, print even. So what typically was reserved for only large organizations with large staffs, large marketing budgets, now the playing field has been leveled. And I use the example, kind of my analogy is that this allows us, the small business operators, to really play in the big boy sandbox. And so just know that you can do anything that a brand like Best Buy is doing. You can do anything that a brand like Starbucks is doing in these digital channels. Now, on the mass media front, we'll never have enough money to compete with them. They will always outspend us. And quite candidly, they just have more resources and more staff to be able to do that. But know this, digital marketing, you and I as small business operators can do everything that theirs doing, and here's how. First and foremost, data is king. I like to remind you that data is king. We have to have data in order to be able to compete and get into these digital channels. So my question that I pose to you is, are you collecting data? I hope you are. If not, I hope you start today, start quickly. If so, how? How are you collecting that data? And then secondly, where are you storing your data? What is your CRM solution? And CRM is a customer relationship management system or a database in there. And some of you may be using something as simple as Excel, and that's okay. Just know that as a BPA member, you have access to BPA Customer Connect powered by Salesforce, maybe a solution that you want to consider. But you have to collect data. You've got to start today, and you have to have somewhere to store it. So let's get started. So here's our digital ecosystem that we visit. We've broken it into 5 separate and distinct channels, and we cover each of these 5 in various episodes of the Profit Break. Today, we're going to talk about some quick tips on email, but I always like to point out that each of these are dependent and they work in concert with each other. They're not mutually exclusive. So you can't say, well, hey, I do website, I'm covered there. I probably don't need to worry about SMS. These work in concert together. Small business operators, we have to be active in all of these channels to some degree. And today we're going to focus specifically on email marketing. Now, I know what you're thinking. Email is so, Bart, it's like 2010. Yes, I know, but email marketing is not dead. In fact, it has been a very important part of the road to recovery in this post-pandemic environment that we'll talk about there. So if you've walked away from it, I'm encouraging you to give it another chance. If you're new to it, I want you to take a few of these steps today and put them to practice, because there is a direct correlation between the recovery of businesses, all small businesses, whether you're a bakery, a bowling center, a restaurant, whatever that may be. There's a direct correlation between that business's ability to recover revenues post-pandemic and the health of their database, and email marketing is playing a big part of that there. So know this is from some outside research, that a message is 5 times more likely to be seen on email rather than via Facebook. Now, again, this is not a statement against Facebook. It is part of the SMS ecosystem that we talk about, but this is really to help you think about how important email marketing is and the role that it plays. We'll talk a little bit later in some episodes about Facebook and social media, but we want to focus on email marketing. Now, I'm going to share with you some quick best practices here today. And 3 email best practices you can start today, put into practice, and start getting those guests to come back and see you more often. And first is maximize that welcome email. Think about that welcome email as the start of the relationship. I use the analogy of like at your first date. You want to impress them. You want to put your best foot forward. So maximize that welcome email. And the welcome email is that point where someone is giving you permission to communicate with them via email, and you are giving them that first introductory email. Know this, here is the data, and this is important. This is the most effective message you can send. It's the most read message that you will send to them. The average open rate for regular emails is about 20 to 30%. Those are national averages for other retail businesses. Yours could be a little higher, but that welcome email, look at that, 75 to 80%. So it almost triples the open rate of that email on that welcome. So it's that first date, you're in the honeymoon period. You need to make sure that this is the most effective email that you can send out. So make that offer a compelling offer to welcome that guest. Welcome emails. Number 2, your subject line is king. Here's what the data shows. Half of us, 50% of subscribers, decide to open or not open your email based on the subject line. Imagine that. You never even get a chance to share what you want to say to them or share what the offer is if you don't have a compelling subject line. And think about yourself as a consumer when you go through your email box. I know that I do. Oftentimes I'll look at the subject line. If it's not interesting, I hit delete. Delete, 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 delete. So you've only got a 50-50 chance of getting that email open, and it's largely driven off of that subject line. So subject line is king there. So I've shared with you a couple of tips on the subject line. Here's 3 things you need to consider when crafting your own subject line for your emails. Make it personal. Make it descriptive. Give them a reason to open. And again, I always like to put ourselves in the, look through the lens of yourself, right? As you look at emails. Is it personal? Are they connecting with you on a personal level? Is it descriptive? Does it tell you what it's about? And does it give you a reason to open? So those 3 things are key as you're thinking about that journey of the subject line. Some best practices, limit punctuation. I know sometimes we want to hit that, exclamation point 5, 6 times. The experts say no more than 3. No more than 3 punctuations in a subject line. Personally, for me, I want no more than 1 or 2, but I love putting 1 in. Emojis. We live in an emoji world. Use emojis carefully. In fact, the study says you should do no more than 1 at a time. Don't fill up your emojis there, but we do want to craft something with some emoji in there. And then keep it short. The experts say 9 words or less. I will tell you that less is more, and I work and craft to keep that subject line to 5 or 6 words. Definitely no more than 9 or 10. It's not crafting a sentence in your subject line, because it just gets lost. We live in a microwave society where our attention spans are short, and you've got a brief moment to get to that 50-50, whether you're going to decide whether or not they're going to be a part of that. So 9 words or less. So I want to share with you here a couple of subject lines, and this is actually from my very own email box. So these are two subject lines of emails I recently received. The first one there is from Sports Clips Haircut, where I choose to get my haircut. And you can see the subject line there is the emoji of a gift. So it's kind of got my attention. It's a gift. And then it says Sports Clips, so I know who it's from. I've opted in to communicate with them. And it says, our gift to you. So to me, that's pretty compelling. I think they fit the profile there. If you look at the number of words, use of emoji, and use of the punctuation. They have 1 punctuation, 2 if you include the colon use there, and 1 emoji that reaches me. So there's a high probability I'm gonna open that and at least give Sports Clip a chance to share with me what it is that gift is and what they'd like me to do. And obviously they want me to come see them, but what the offer is. The other one is bowling related from the Main Event, which is a great operator. I subscribe to their email list as I do for many of yours. And you can see there that recently they sent out, it says score 1 hour of free emoji for bowling for National Bowling Day. So they were getting behind National Bowling Day, sending out an hour of free bowling. You've got my attention. I am definitely opening that, right? Because I've opted in to be with them. They've used the word score. It's kind of catchy for bowling. 1 hour, the use of free, only 1 emoji. They've used the exclamation point. That fits all of the profile when you look at what makes up a good subject line. So those are just a couple of examples I share with you on crafting that subject line there. And then last that I want to share with you is have compelling offers, okay? It doesn't have to be half price. It doesn't necessarily have to be free, but have compelling offers. And sometimes as small business operators, we get caught up in, well, I can't discount my product that much. I can't give that away. I can't afford to give that away. Remember this. This is an offer only for those that have opted in. And you're going to have only a small percentage of those that will open and redeem. So let's run through a quick example. Let's say that my database is 1,000 people. I've got a database in my business of 1,000 folks that have actively said, we want to hear from you. If I do a great job of getting my email together, I'm going to have an open rate of 30%. So only 300 people are going to open my email. Now, let's say I have a great redemption rate of 10%. That means of the 300, only 10% or 30 are going to redeem the offer. So I can make that a compelling offer because if I have a facility with many different guests, only 30 of them at that given time are probably going to have that offer. So don't think of the offer as an ongoing offer, a standing offer. Make it a compelling offer. And back to the welcome email that I mentioned, always make that welcome email your best offer ever because that's the one you want to start the relationship with. And just as a reminder, email is dependent on data. You've got to grow your database every day. You've got to be talking to guests every day about sharing their data with you. So just some quick tips for you on that email marketing. As always, if you're looking for more information, we've got an incredible course that's part of our online on-demand education and training program that deals specifically with email marketing in greater detail. You can attend one of our one-day boot camps. You can come see us at the management school here at the campus. A lot of ways to connect and give you that information. JK?
Bart, thank you. That's great stuff. We have time for a couple of questions, if you don't mind, if you can share some more insight with us. One is it important to target email to the appropriate guest database? For example, leagues versus group events.
Yeah, absolutely, JK. That is really a great question. And don't have time to give you all the detail, but what we're really talking about there is segmentation. And I'll share with you a quick example. My wife and I are empty nesters now. If you're sending, while I may have opted into your database, if you're going to send me offers about birthday parties for kids, it's only going to take a certain amount of time where I'm going to get disengaged and probably unsubscribe. And you don't want that because if you talk to me about tournaments and mixed leagues and things that my wife and I would be interested in, you're probably going to have a lifelong customer. It's probably going to have a pretty good spin. So segmentation is important, understanding what offer to send what guests. And that really comes with having the information on your guests to know what their likes are and what they're interested in. But great question.
I wonder if you could speak a little more to the importance of that welcome email and what types of mistakes do you see in this area?
Yeah, that's another great point that I'll share with you, that the biggest mistake I see as I opt in as a consumer myself in brands I want to hear from, and as I also opt into centers like yours to help follow and learn what you're doing, is no response or lack of response on that welcome email. So when I get that welcome email back that says, thanks for joining our email club, you're going to get great offers in the future, that is a terrible welcome email. That's no way to start a relationship. That's like doing a first date and bringing me dead flowers, right? It's no good. I don't want it. But I love those emails where it's that compelling offer of, come see us, here's my best offer, a free hour. So programming a trigger email that has a compelling offer in that welcome email is critical.
Great, thank you. We're about out of time, Bart. Thanks for that insight and your expertise. So everybody, as we wrap up another edition of the Tuesday Morning Profit Break, remember that when your focus is on growing your people, people will grow your business. We look forward to seeing you next week, 10:15 Eastern, for another great episode of the Tuesday Morning Profit Break. If you have any questions about today's show, you can reach Bart for more information, or any of us here at the education team at education@bpaa.com. Also, you and your team can watch any of our previous episodes 24/7 by visiting bowlinguniversity.net. Till then, I'm John Karabatsis, and do what you would do for one, what you wish you could do for everybody. See you next week.